what unique challenges did you face during your tenure at Centralia College? So we'll go Hank, Jim, and then Nels, you last on this question, okay? And I'll repeat it again.
Well, first of all, there are lots of challenges to serving as president of any college. I have an organization chart that goes like this: trouble, 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 trouble. Because if they're easy problems, they're solved somewhere down the line, and it's the tougher ones that somehow make it to your desk. But I guess I can pick just two. First of all, colleges have their ups and downs, just like all of us have in our lives. And Centralia College had a very difficult time prior to my arrival. Between Nels and myself, some of you remember, we had a couple of other presidents who aren't here right now, and they just had challenges, and so the college had challenges as well. And in fact, the college was rather demoralized. How many people were here in '86? In '86, God says, yeah, that's good. Some of you remember that the college was really on the ropes. A college that has a proud history that was discussed here was really on the ropes, was demoralized. The faculty took a vote of no confidence in the Board of Trustees and the administration both. And the staff was upset, and that transferred to enrollment was down. The finances were down. In fact, there was a question whether the college would survive. It just had gone through a tough time, and they were talking about moving it away. Can you believe that? Up to Olympia yet, which would just be an awful thing. So they didn't know what to do, so they said, well, we better get an interim president in here. And my boss said, Hank, there's a neat college up there that's gone through a rough time, but why don't you go up there and see what you can do? And so I was tickled. I jumped at the job and took a look around. The first thing I did was interviewed people in the community. I found out about this college and its history, and I talked to the faculty. These are good people. And the staff, they were really committed to students. So we said, hey, let's get this baby going, turn it around, and let's get back on the road. And sure enough, they did. That's what the name of this game is. And so I guess internally, we consulted with people, tried to listen, got some communications going, a regular update, which Don Fry used to love to do and did a great job. We did faculty empowerment. The staff began to focus on students and their success. That was sort of our mantra. It isn't our success, it's the students' success. And if they're successful, we're going to be successful too. So that was really a terrific thing. And then outside, I tried to go and tell everybody I could, this is the greatest college, we're going somewhere. The foundation helped, we got that energized and motivated, and the rest is history. So Nels, we got it right back on track where you had it, and that was something that was fun for me to live through, and it just a cheerleader for all of you in the community and at the college that helped that happen. The second quick thing was the split of the district. Oh, do you remember that one? Oh, Centralia, our board had two colleges, two bad boys, under their purview. Centralia College and South Puget Sound. And those guys from South Puget Sound were hammering on us. Split the district, split it. We don't want to be associated with Centralia College. We want our own district. Well, I can understand that. But on the other hand, we were worried down here. Could the college survive alone? Would that be possible? So we told our friends, Ken Menert and the guys up there in Olympia, look, why don't you back off and let us talk about that and think about it here. And if we like the idea, we'll let you know. So we did. And Jack Kalmbach and some of our faculty got together and we said, you know, we can make this alone, ourselves. Let's cut those guys loose and we'll just go for it together. And so that's exactly what we did. And you know what? It worked. And District 24 was formed. Our dear friends in South Puget Sound have their own district, and we have our own. And so that's been a terrific thing. It took a lot of work, though. The community was behind this. I remember Jack Underwood was at the Chronicle, and he said, Hank, we're 180 degrees away from you. You better give us some evidence to show that this college is going to make it. So that's what you do. You tell the story. You show the facts. You say, we can make it on our own. And so, behold, the answer is, we have just done fine, thank you. And CC is alive and well again, Nels. That's enough of that.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to catch you up. If I start wandering over in the front, your time's over.
Oh, I see.
All right. Jim?
Well, Hank handed off a wonderful college, but a few things have happened in the last 12 years. If you stop and think about it, we've had 2 500-year floods. We've had the shutdown of the mine, one of the biggest employers in the community, and we've had the worst recession in the history of the nation. So all of that has happened during my tenure. But what I guess it made me enthusiastic more than anything else was the very first flood. We had students that were absolutely devastated by the flood. It was on December 7th. It was 2 weeks before final exams. We had students that had everything wiped out, their houses, their cars, their computers, their everything. We pulled together the faculty one afternoon, and Doris remembers this because she was on the faculty at that time, and several others. We got together over in the boardroom, and we said, okay, what are we going to do? This was a great opportunity for us to really come together and really help students. And so we said, in the end, after an hour and a half of discussion, what we're going to do is we're going to do what's right for whatever situation any student's in. If they want to take their exam today, we'll give it to them. If they want to wait until next quarter, we'll give it to them. If they want to take their grade right now, we'll give it to them. If they want to wait, we'll give it to them later. We'll figure out something else. We figured out a plan for every single student. And faculty and staff walked away saying, well, you know, I might not have agreed to do this, but we've all agreed together to do this, and I'll give it a try. And we had not one complaint from one student. Every student was helped through that entire time period. What a great opportunity to just bring this college together and help our students. When the next 500-year flood came along a couple of years later, we were ready. We knew what to do. And the state board stepped up and said, okay, we'll give you scholarship money. For all those students affected by the flood, we'll help. And so we put together scholarship funds, and we got students financed if they were affected by the second flood. And then the mine shuts down. The mine was the biggest employer with the highest wages in the entire community. And it was a tough time. But TransAlta came to us and said, would you help us do something? And so the very first thing we did was we held job fairs, trying to get those people that were going to get laid off an opportunity to get out and find a job someplace else. And the second thing we did is we held an education fair. And we said, anybody that wants to come to the college, we'll figure out a way to take you. And again, this was like just after January, so middle of the year, when we put together programs, we figured it out. Bev Jestreen stepped up in our workforce education programs and really made it happen for everybody. And so we were able to take care of literally hundreds. And TransAlta came in with a good amount of money to help for scholarships. So we put 200 people either back to work or into school, or we just basically helped them survive, and their families survive. And then maybe the most significant thing is the recession. 2008, thought we were devastated. We were going to have to take a $50,000 cut. How could we possibly take that? Well, $2.5 million later, after those next 5 years, we were still cutting. But the guiding principle that we had going into that 2008 session, that discussion, the most important thing to us was our people. And we decided that no matter what else, we were not going to lay anybody off if at all possible. We would do everything we possibly could to save the people, because college really isn't about the bricks and mortars. It's really about the instructors and the support services, all taking care of our students. And we lived by that mantra, and we figured out ways we took advantage of every retirement, everybody taking a job someplace else. We combined jobs. I mean, this college really pulled together. And even though we ended up losing almost a quarter of our staff from just attrition, we did not lay one person off. Everybody that wanted a job through that time period was an employee of Centralia College, kept that job. And so I think that said a lot. Not about me, but really about the people of this college doing 2 or 3 jobs so that their neighbor could keep their job. So that was a big, huge, obvious challenge. And this year, for the first time since 2008, we actually had $50,000 to spend. Wow! We still haven't got back our $2.5 million, but we're working on it. And over time, it will get better. But again, it really was the college, the people of the college, that made a difference.
Nels, you want me to repeat the question?
No, just one observation though regarding all three of us. Centralia College is distinctive, and when you become here as whether president or your dean or your faculty member, it's so much part of the community that you really feel more than just part of the college, but you feel like you're part of the whole area. And so many people who come here, that's the last place, they don't move again. They stay here because this is the place they like to work. Their work is appreciated, and they like to stay until the ball game's over anyway. And that's, every place isn't like that. Many faculty members and presidents look at this. I'll be here for 4 or 5 years, but I'll find a bigger or better place later. And so many that come here find this is the bigger, better place already, and they look no further.
So what challenges
What
did you have in your years?
What challenges?
What challenges did you have?
Well, in let's say here from 66 to 81, first of all, it was being transformed from the school board operated the college. They sometimes called it 13th and 14th grade, but it was a part of the college district was the community college, and it wasn't called a community college; it's called a junior college, and was 13th and 14th grade it was referred to. And one of the big things was transitioning from that vision of the college to a community college, and it wasn't the 13th and 14th grade; it was the first 2 years of college. And the education, the caliber of the education, and the stature of the education was such that it was just as smart as the college system as the first 2 years of University of Washington or Washington State University. So there were some hurdles of getting from transitioning from part of the local high school, the 13th and 14th grade, to part of the college system. And there may still be some residue of that in the community, I don't know, but at least both in the eyes of the students that attend, those that transfer, and those that go into careers directly from the college, they know it's the first 2 years of college, whether it's here or in Seattle or in Pullman or where it is. And I think that's quite an achievement to establish the stature over a period of time so that today's students graduate from high school and you watch where you go, well, they look at the college quality-wise, it's just good, but if I'd rather be in a sorority or whatever it is, they may make the choice of whether they go to Pullman and Seattle and so forth by career criteria, other than what's the quality of the freshman and sophomore program in the community college compared to what it is to a 2-year college. Everybody sees right up there on the same level.
Okay, thanks. We know that transfer students do better at their 4-year institution than an incoming freshman at that 4-year institution. That's the college follows that, and it's a proven fact. So it's the quality of this place that speaks of that. Okay.